Hello guys, welcome back to Logical Programming YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to explaining how to print these patterns, and I already told you this channel is not for absolute beginners, and I'm going to implement the logic for these patterns. So the person who is already having the knowledge on patterns only will be able to going to print these patterns. Otherwise you may feel somewhat difficulty to print this pattern, but don't worry, I'm going to help you to print this pattern. Okay, so first we have to print this right angle triangle pattern, which is in the inverse, inverse, right? Inverse right angle triangle. So now for this we have to write the logic. So on the day I already told you how to print this block, hollow block. So same like that only we are going to print this output, right? We have to print this pattern. So now the first thing we have to take, we have to print this row, and we have to print this column, and we have to print this and we have to print this cross line, right? So now at I is equal to 1 means first row we have to print this full row. At j is equal to 1 we have to print this full column, and at I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 5 we have to print this. At I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 4 we have to print the star here. Like that we have to print all the stars, and rest of the cases we have to print the spaces. So for this we have to write the logic, right? So now I'm going to take ideally. So now I'm going to take n is equal to 5. So this is the input for I in range of 1 comma n plus 1, right? So for j in range of 1 comma n plus 1, right? So up to here, come on. For example, if you want to print this hollow, at I is equal to 1 we have to print this full row, and j is equal to 1 we have to print this full column. I is equal to n we have to print this full row, and j is equal to n we have to print this full column, and rest of the places we have to print the spaces, right? So now if I equal to 1, or I equal to n, or j equal to 1, right, or j equal to n, we have to print the stars, right? We have to print the stars, and rest of the cases we have to print the spaces, right? Comma and is equal to like this, and then keep it here like this. So now execute this one, we are getting hollow block, right? So this is the first one in this picture we are having, right? So now we got the output for this one, so we have to print the logic for this one, right? See here what is happening here. What is happening at I is equal to 1, where is I is equal to 1? This is the one, right? I is equal to 1, we are printing this full row, and I is equal to n value is nothing but 5 here, full row, and j is equal to 1, right? J is equal to 1 and j is equal to n, we are printing the stars, and rest of the cases we are printing the spaces, right? So for this one we have to write the logic like this. So how to write the logic for this one? Okay, so now how to write the logic for this one? Very simple. So now I'm going to modify this one. I'm going to remove the logic here, right? Now see here, very simple. If I equal to 1 means this row we have to print first, right? So I equal to 1, we have to print the stars here, right? Comma end is equal to, keep it like this, right? And elif j equal to 1, we have to print this full column, right? J equal to 1, right? And we have to print this full column with the stars, right? So that's why I'm using here stars, and we have to print the stars here, right? At I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 5, I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 4, right? So for this we are going to write the logic I equal to n plus 1 minus j, means if I take I is equal to 1, right, n plus 1, 5 plus 1, 6, 6 minus I value starts with, sorry, j value starts with 1, 6 plus 6 minus 1, 5. So at I is equal to 1 and here j value at I is equal to 1 we are getting the value as 5. So 1 we are printing the star here, right, and so like this we are going to print the stars here. Just stick it here, print star comma end, right. So now on remaining all the places we have to print the spaces, right, comma end is equal to like this. So now I'm going to print this. When I execute this one, see, I'm getting the output like this. When I execute this one, I'm getting the output like this. So this is the first one, right, so this is the first one, so this is the first one we have to print, right. So now how to write the logic for this one, I mean how to reduce the number of elif conditions, right. So for this, very easy. So now I'm going to reduce all these things, right. So now I'm going to take here I equal to 1 or j equal to 1, right, j equal to 1 here, right. I'm going to remove this elif block, right. So now again same here, keep or here, and I equal to n plus 1 minus j, right. So I'm going to remove this one also, right. I removed even this one also. Now check it here, we have to print the stars, and rest of all the cases we have to print the spaces, right. See, we are getting the same output, right. So now I used logical OR and I have printed this and I have print this pattern, right. So this is how you have to print this. So exactly what is happening here, right. So now up to here is common, I equal to 1 we are printing all this, j equal to 1 we are printing all this, right. So now whenever I is equal to 1, right, I is equal to n plus 1 minus j. So n plus 1 minus j means 5 plus 1 6, 6 minus 1 is nothing but 5. So at I is equal to 5 we are printing the star here, right, and at I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 2, I is equal to, his value is nothing but 2 here, right, 2 here, and then 5 plus 1 6, 6 minus j value also 2, 6 minus 2 4, and we are printing I is equal to 2 and I equal to 4, we are printing this star here, right, we are printing the star here, and we are taking a value again as 5 plus 1 6, 6 minus we are taking this time as 3, 6 minus 3 3, at I is equal to 3 we are printing this, at I is equal to 2 we are printing this. So this is how we have to print this pattern, right. Excellent. Now we are going to print the next one, this one, right. How to print this one, this pattern, right. So now this is also common, very easy. So now for this also I'm going to explaining with the help of diagram, right. So this is the diagram, up to here is common, so this is the logic I'm removing, right. So this is the logic, up to here common, the structure is common, right. So now you only know how to print this pattern. At I equal to n and j equal to 1 we are printing this column, I equal to n we are printing this row, and where I equal to 1 j equal to 1 we have to print this, I equal to 2 and j equal to 2 we have to print this. So I equal to 3 j equal to 3 means I equal to j we are going to print this. So I'm going to write the logic here, if I equal to not 1, it's nothing but n, or j equal to is nothing but 1, or I equal to j, we have to print the star here, we have to print the star here, comma, end like this. On rest of the cases we have to print spaces, right? Excellent. So now if I execute this one, can I get the proper output? Yes, check it here. This is the exact output, right? This is the exact output. Very easy. I is equal to 1, sorry, j equal to 1, we are printing the full column. I equal to n, we are printing the full row. Where I equal to j, we are printing the this cross line, right? So like this we have to print the pattern. And what is the next one? This is the one we have to print, right? So this is the one we have to print. So now for this is the diagram, right? So this is the diagram. So how to print this? So this is the code for the previous one. So now I'm going to remove this logic. Yeah, I'm going to remove this logic. So now I equal to 1, we are printing this full row, and j equal to n is nothing but 5, we are printing this full column. Where I equal to 1, j equal to 1, I equal to 2, j equal to 2 means I equal to j, we are printing the pattern, we are printing this full pattern. So now if I equal to 1 or j equal to n or I equal to j, print stars, right, comma, and is equal to like this, and remaining all places we have to print the spaces. So if I execute this one, can I get the proper output? Check it this, right? See, I'm getting the proper output, right? So till now we solved 4 patterns, and the last pattern, which is nothing but this one, right? So try this, pause the video for 2 seconds, sorry, pause the video for 3 to 5 minutes, and try this. Very easy. So how to write the logic for this one? Last one, this one, right? So now where I'm going to write the logic here, right? So now if I equal to n, right, last row, or j equal to n, or I equal to n plus 1 minus j, we are going to print the star, right? We are going to print the star, and rest of all the cases we are going to print the spaces. So can I execute this one? Yeah, see, this is how we have to print this pattern. I'm getting the output for this one, right? So till now we solved 5 patterns, all are hollow. How to print these patterns? So these are the very easy logics. I think you understand this logic, how to print these patterns. If you like this video, share to all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel. Thank you so much.